next chapter, chapter 9, the altar of our apocrine glands, breast health.
Yeah.
How we can make sure we get to keep our breasts into our old age. Because
Yes.
boy, every day you hear about somebody else having a mastectomy or a double mastectomy, and it's enough to scare any woman.
For sure. And the statistics are really quite phenomenal. Our breasts really are barometers. They're like the canaries in the coal mine right now. And they're able to sort of tell us, sort of what environmentally is going on. So if you've been diagnosed, or, there's the BRCA1 or BRCA2 gene, which has been assessed to be one of the causes of cancer. So then people that, I have that, so I'll get it. So I'll just do a preventative mastectomy. But now we really understand that that's only going to be an influencer of about 5%.
Exactly.
Which is not much. So you think about the vitamin D, that's going to reduce your risk by 50%. But what they know, even that 5% now, it needs a secondary mutation.
Yes.
To happen. And so that could be an environmental thing. It could be a food thing. So we want to prevent the secondary mutations, but really culturally, our relationship to breasts is so skewed. We've got this like sort of Las Vegas adulation. It's like, what? And then we've got this repression of breastfeeding, which is like their main purpose is
the only purpose.
Yeah. They're beautiful, lovely orbs, but we've got, they've got work to do. Which of course doesn't mean you have to, you could go your life without that, but it's interesting because breastfeeding does help. It's one of the things that helps prevent breast cancer. And what we're understanding now too is that because the breasts aren't fully developed until they have gone through a pregnancy and breastfed.
That's right.
Even if it's just for like a month. They haven't had their full growth. So that's important. And of course, what we know now too is there's a whole microbiome in the breasts.
That's right.
As with every area, right? But as women, from the moment, we create our breasts develop, we're told to primp and perfume and pop birth control pills, and all of these things mess with our estrogen. Now, when we're teens, it's all coming in fresh, and we might not feel the manifestation of that till we're 40, 50, or 60 from the things we've done as a teenager, whether that's going on a birth control pill or applied parabens for 40 years. Or, like my mom, for example, she had endometriosis. So at 35, she had a hysterectomy, which was quite a popular thing for our mothers and grandmothers, right? Because it's like, I don't know, the female plumbing will remove it.
Exactly.
It's making them crazy. Yes.
By the way, it's happening now.
Yeah.
Today. It's horrifying. The number of women that are prescribed a hysterectomy for not a pretty significant reason. It's like, well, you'd be better off without him. What?
Yeah, this preventative thing. And I really go deep in that chapter because my mom did die of breast cancer. So it was a really passionate thing. I mean, I was understanding it a bit too late, but really knowing her health and her health history was amazing. So she was on HRT at 35. Wow. Until 65, until she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And they're like, maybe you should get off that. It's this thing of like trying to regulate our hormones our whole lives, but we've got all of this hormonal mess coming in. And so when I was working on that research for her, and I was giving a talk on breast health, what I really came to understand is that we've got really an estrogen crisis. So we've got the xenoestrogens, which are the foreign, xeno being foreign, so the plastic estrogens and the things that aren't melding with our body. Then we've got the metalloestrogens, which are heavy metal estrogen compounds. So that's coming in from the pesticides like atrazine or the mercury fillings. Right? Yes. Yeah.
The aluminum in the deodorant. I have this with my daughters every day. No, you may not use those. No. It's a daily fight.
Yes. Well, we've made lots of beautiful deodorants, so we can take care of that. So we've got the metalloestrogens, and then we've got, kept thinking, I was like, Candida, there's a fungus connection when I was meditating on it. And then I go to the research, and yes, there's mycoestrogens, myco being fungal. So then we've got this issue, and that some of that comes from pharmaceuticals that are being fed to the livestock. That's right. So in 2011, there was a New Jersey schoolgirl's urine was studied, and it showed that there was over 70% mycoestrogens in their urine from the regular food supply. So we've got that synthetic type, and then we've got the mycoestrogens that just come from like rotten grains, all that, the fungal stuff that we're eating from aflatoxins in peanuts, or you know what I mean? So the fungal issue.
Yeah.
So you combine that. I have a little Venn diagram in the book. I feel like those circles overlap, and then ding, 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 you've got a good recipe for breast cancer.
And you've got iodine in the middle.
Yeah, so then we take those things and you put iodine in the middle, and that's so fascinating because then iodine, it balances out the xenoestrogens. So it flushes out the fake estrogens, and we actually have 3 types of natural estrogen, and estriol, which is the best kind, the most anti-cancer, it raises that to the top, and I'm speaking sort of metaphorically, but it will bring that estriol up to the limelight. It will help that excel in the body. And then metalloestrogens, iodine is one of the best ways to detoxify and chelate aluminum and heavy metals out of the body. It's actually a halide, so it helps to also flush out other halides, the dangerous types like chlorine and bromide, out of the body. And then it's anti-candida. And if we think in terms of like traditional Chinese medicine, it helps to, bring fire back to the belly. It helps to get rid of dampness in the belly. And those are all sort of the candida fungal things. So it's amazing. And there's our thyroid has an iodine symporter pump, and so do our breasts. So our breasts need iodine second to the thyroid. So there's a whole thing there, but we actually have receptors in our breasts for iodine. And iodine is an essential mineral. It's an essential nutrient that's in every cell of the body. And it's
deeply deficient in it, right?
Yes. The World Health Organization estimates 70%. A small study was done on cancer, all types of cancer. 100% of all the people with cancer were 100% deficient in iodine. It's like magnesium. It needs to be in your body. And it also surveils the body with thyroid hormone, and it looks for the cell death. So a healthy apoptosis is what iodine also creates. And also, even women that have swelling in the breast, they take the iodine and they find that it goes away.
Oh, it's the most important. In addition to magnesium, I think for women especially, getting some form of iodine. And I'm not a believer in pills and potions. I don't believe in, again, taking things made in a lab. So I typically recommend Dulse.
Yes.
It's so inexpensive, and you just toss it like salt on your food. Or what I've fallen in love with, because, it gets boring to kind of do the same thing over and over again. I'm always on the lookout for new fun things to do. That's just my personality anyway. I'm always looking for something like, how can I do something new?
Yes.
And I found both Trader Joe's and Costco, again, very affordable, sell seaweed. But if you look at the ingredients, it's organic seaweed with just a touch of some kind of oil, no additives, no preservatives, and it's crispy and it's got a little sea salt in it. It's so delicious. So
that sounds great.
I find that when I don't eat my seaweed, and I'll eat seaweed every single day. So this isn't a once a week thing. It's like a daily treat for me. I'll eat it either with lunch or dinner, and I'll have like 6-7 pieces of seaweed. And what I find is when I sometimes, get lazy or bored or forget, within 3 days, I'll feel more fatigued. I'll feel more bloated, like my face will feel more just plump, just full. And to me, there really is, again, a more direct connection for women's health to iodine than we understand or give credit for. So I tell everyone, just try it.
Yeah.
Try it, keep a journal. See how you feel. And if it is important, make it part of your daily routine,
Yes. That's such a great, tip, because we're kind of, as a culture, we're like, what do you do? Like, what are you eating? Yes. We got to bring it back inside. So really every meal, have a moment. How do you feel after? How do you feel the next day? How are you feeling in an hour? Is it digesting? Are you waking up with puffy eyes? Yeah. And then you know what to eat.
Yes. You have a whole section called Soothe Your Cells. What's that about?
Is that in the breast chapter?
Yes.
Yes, so that's about how can we regenerate our skin, our breast cells, and get rid of the excess estrogen. So there's a lot of tips in there for massage, going without a bra for as much as possible, which also helps the breast ligaments be stronger.
Yes.
And less reliant, because it's like if you have an arm in a sling, right? The muscles won't develop as much.
There's been some intriguing research done on the fact that metal wire that
yes
suffocates your breast does not allow circulation.
Yes, and there's even been links with that and the mercury filling connection, like creating electrical charges. But yeah, what happens with the bras, or especially the underwire, is that we create kind of a lymphedema.
Yeah,
we're creating a cesspool, really, because this is all about the armpits, about breast cancer too, the lateral aspect, and we're not allowing circulation and the lymph to flow in that area, and then we get the clog, and then the aluminum and the parabens from the skincare, and then there's this pool. There's like a cesspool in the breast,
and the poor breast is just bearing the brunt of all of this.
Yes.
There are women who sleep with their underwire bra, and so I'm again big into saying no, you weren't born with a bra. You'll be fine without it when you sleep. So,
and there's so many options now, to get like an organic cotton thing with like a small percentage of lycra.
Exactly.